Yo, what going on? It is your boy Jah, and I'm here with Nilda and Desi.
Good night.
So tonight we're gonna talk a little bit about the poly life. Um, as always, it is Freaky Friday, so we gonna dive into the other part, the fun part of that poly life talk also. Because we've talked about poly and polyamorous, polygamy, all that stuff before. But since it's Freaky Friday, we got to get into the nasty side also. And we got our girl Nilda for that day because she's the more experienced one compared to myself when it comes to them thing that I'm a novice. She says she's a novice, but she more cultured. All right. As far as
Yes,
the
yes.
poly life, I think Dessa is the most experienced one when it comes to that. So tell the people how long you've been doing this poly thing, sir.
So I've been doing this poly thing for probably like the last 5 years. Yeah.
It's been strictly poly relationships for 5 years for you.
No, actually, when I first recognized that I was poly, I was with somebody who was monogamous, and so we were discussing it, and I was monogamous while I was with them, but it was very much taxing on because we were also going long distance, so it was very taxing in a lot of different ways. So I recognized I was poly, and when that relationship came to its end, I was like, I can't do that again because I was bending myself in pretzels to be in a relationship with someone that I cared about, but it wasn't true to how I act and how I could show up best for them. So,
And Nelda, what's your interest in that life? Because me, I don't like people like that there, and I can't imagine juggling that many personalities. So tell me.
Well, I've been interested in poly for God knows from the time I figured out it was a thing. I was interested in it before I even knew it was called poly. So for me it's like, so here's a quiz, right? Everybody's familiar with the phase with the Bible, um how do you say it, the Bible verse or sentence that says, a man who find a wife find a good thing. Who said that? Do you
I
know who
have no
said that?
idea. I have no idea.
King Solomon, right?
Because he had all the
How many
wives.
wives did King Solomon have?
70,
Almost
wasn't it?
400 wives.
400.
So however much, all I know was more than one. So how can we like what he says, but we don't want to follow his living? He had multiple wives. So before poly was even a thing, it was a thing. It wasn't called poly, but it was a thing. So like, I feel like the way how America has it is illegal because it's illegal in all states to be poly. Like I feel like that's like a direct violation of my rights. Like how can I have the right to speak, talk, write, film, walk, and do what I want, but I can't marry who I want? Like, excuse me? You trying to tell me like I have to marry a man and be with him alone? I can't marry a man and a woman? Like I just think that's crazy. But anyway, I am very much interested in the lifestyle. I think it's beautiful. Like I am bisexual, and for me to live the rest of my life married to a man and telling my and depriving myself of what I really want, that's like unfair to me. Like I like women. I love men. So why I can't have both?
And that's it. What you think about that? You've been doing it for a while, and how does it even work? Is it basically everybody in the relationship needs to decide on an agreement, or how does that? Is there like a standard? Is there a baseline for it, or what?
well, not to go too much into the weeds, but my basis for polyamory is decolonization, which is when the French ran into different Native American groups up around the Great Lakes. They were trading with these people, and they would see that wait, that woman went from that tent to that tent, and that man went from that tent to that tent. Yo, what's going on? So they went up to the dudes and they were just like, yo, we got to talk to you. Like, we got some questions. What's going on? Like, and the dudes, all the native men are looking at them like, what do you mean? And they said, so the French are going, how do you know which children are yours? And the native men just responded very simply, they're all our children. And it's like, you would only look out for kids that are biologically yours? You're weird.
Yeah.
And they just move on with their day. Because it's like, why would you, like, and that's the way I view it is like, if the woman I'm with or the person that I'm with has people that they are with as well, that is building our tribe. That is making it so that my child is more protected. I'm protecting their kids, they're protecting my kids. Why am I going to be mad that my family is more protected?
So it's really about the village for real. So that's a real village lifestyle. It's more than just free love. So now how
It's also,
go ahead.
sorry, in for the research that I've done, it's also about building economic sense, right? Because if you're in a household and it's three of us, three are working adults, that alleviates a lot of stress off of one person because you're spreading everything three ways. Let's take out all this stupid social media shit about men doing all the work and it's 50-50 and women doing this. Whatever. We're serious adults here. So if we're three working adults and there's bills split three ways, that gives more economic freedom for everybody to be able to enjoy life, period, and not have to worry about the simple things or the most important things is, basically how we're going to survive, right? So it's more than just like free love, like you said. It's also building generational wealth and teaching love, over the whole stance of the situation. Because I have kids. Let's just say I enter into a poly relationship, right? I have older kids. He has older kids, and we have to have the conversation because everybody's gonna respect everybody. And if we bring somebody in our relationship, it has to be a general respect and love all across the board. It's just not gonna be in between us. So it's a bigger thing, and it's real that somebody else is gonna protect our kids. It's somebody else to love, in my opinion. That's how I feel.
Magda Molinar says, just because you're poly doesn't mean you have multiple partners. It just means you're open to having them or your partner having more partners outside of you. So there's no, you see, them kind of thing that like it'll throw me, man. So it's saying like we can, like if I happen to just go out and I see a thing and I want to, I'm free to do it. I'm poly. Like I thought the term poly means you're actively already dealing with multiple people. Somebody unconfuse me, please.
I can maybe help a little bit with that. I think that person, they were very clear with the explanation, but I can give some more. Um, Essentially, like, you don't have to be in a relationship. There's different levels of relationship. Essentially, like, I'm talking to multiple people. I am in a relationship with one person right now. But like the fact is, I could go to another state and meet up with these people, and I'm in a relationship with them, but I'm not in a like every day we talk. I'm checking in on you every day, but I'm in a relationship with them. But there's different levels to it. I have a partner, and I have people that I'm talking to, and so there's like levels of connection. But I think the main thing is that like everybody's on the same page. Like I'm not sneaking or lying to anybody at any point. If I'm out and my partner calls and I'm talking to somebody, excuse me, I gotta talk to my partner real quick. I'm gonna check in with them because they know where I'm at, and so if they're calling me right now, it's for a good reason. And so it allows for things to actually be open and things to be safe because I don't need to lie and do anything weird to make it so we're not talking to each other and not on the same page.
Right.
I think a lot of the issue is that we've learned or we've been taught that monogamy is the way to go, right? How do we get out of that mindset? Because it's hard to not be jealous. It's hard to not. be like, oh, this my woman, this my man, or whatever, and not feel some type of way when you see that person that you have feelings for doing things with other people that you want done with you? How do we get away from that mindset?
So I think you touched on a couple of things there. Like you're talking about how do we get away from it originally? Well, the fact is, if you look across this island right now, like people are poly, but they just cheating because it's like the idea of actually saying that I want to not just be with one person is crazy to say. So you say that you're with one person, then you cheat on them and lie to them and break their heart and lie to your kids and all these levels of problems. But when it's naturally like most of the men and women out here, not most, a lot of the men and women out here are not happy with simply being with one person. They're just not, that's not what they want. But they're going to, because of societies and mostly like colonialism, we're going to be told that this is the one person that you're supposed to be with, and that's what you're supposed to say is okay for your entire life. Doesn't matter if you get sick and tired of them, you don't like them anymore. You're locked in on that, and just that whole I own this other person, I own another human being, that is coming straight from slavery. Like, how do you own another human being? That's my man. That's my woman. That is a human being that you have the grace and time to be around. And if they choose to not be around you, then that is their choice. You don't own anybody. You own yourself. You can, in a marriage, that means you guys have written down that we really want to be together. But at the end of the day, you don't own anybody.
Fact. So about the whole monogamy thing. So in the beginning, of course, when they brought Africans over from Africa, they were already in relationships where there was multiple wives for one man. So that monogamous thing definitely came from colonization because that's not what was there in the beginning of time. Even with the Aboriginals, you have your wives, and the whole structure is there are more women in the world than men. Period. It's always been like that, right? So if one man can marry six women, that's six women that no longer need a husband. That's six women that's gonna have all their children in one house because it's for one man. So the thought of monogamy definitely came from colonization because that was their frame of mind that they have their little wife in the house and they sneak and have sex with the house slave or the one in the yard. Like that came from them not sneaking shit. That started from them. That cheating business started from them. Because when we were kings and queens, um, the king had as many queens as he wanted. There was no cheating. There was no sneaking because everybody was on the same page.
That all sounds good, you know. It all sounds good in theory, but when you think about it in action, and you see how possessive people can get, you see how many women fighting over man and man game unalived for woman and all type of stuff, right? Because that's a learned behavior. We learn to be jealous.
I think a main
Well,
thing you brought up two two big things, but a lot of women being unalived because of jealous men.
hmm
Like that is a big thing down here. And so like I think when we're like making space for people's jealousy, we gotta actually at a certain point be like, grow the fuck up, dude. Grow up. Like you don't own another person. Oh, you had a child with them? Congratulations. They can move on with their life and never talk to you. No, they can't talk to you because you got kids. But they can never have sex with you again. They can never be intimate with you again. They can never want to actually like be friends with you again. Like you don't own the rights to this person. And there's
hmm
a culture we have here right now of like I gonna breed sheep. I gonna lock sheep on for 9 months. And it's like, boss, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like you think that you can just lock someone down, you can own someone now? It's like this is all these. We even use the terms of enslavement. I gonna breed sheep. What the fuck?
True. So
So I
why even do the marriage thing? You know what I mean? Like if you're not looking for ownership, why get married in a poly lifestyle?
So for me, if I was to bring this topic to my husband and he was about to say, you know what, let's do it. And for me, it would be It would, for me, it would be a dream come true. But I don't know, like I just feel like every man should have the pleasure of being able to enjoy what I want. Maybe your wife is what you need, but she doesn't fulfill everything that you want. So I just think insecurity needs to come out of the whole equation. That's a big thing. That's where jealousy definitely comes in. If we're adults and I say to you, hey, um, I fantasize about women all the time. Yes, I love you. Yes, you're satisfying, but I want a woman. And you're, oh, so I don't do what I don't do for you. What? That's immature. That's immature, one. And two, it's a level of small mindedness that really just needs to be eliminated in adults. That's the ego talking. Because if you're a man and you're 100% confident in your masculinity, there's no way that me telling you that I fantasize about women is going to make you feel less of a man. Because you're fully aware of what you do to me. You're fully aware of how I feel when we're together. You're fully like we're in the moment. You see what you do. You see how I feel. You see how I react. So you know that you're doing your shit. But if you met me a certain way and I still want that, it's only fair that you take away the expectations of what you think a marriage is going to look like, what you think a relationship is going to look like, and you allow and you enjoy the moment. Because if I'm telling you how I'm feeling and you don't respect how I feel, guess what you're pushing me to do? You're pushing me to get what I want when you're not around,
You
versus
don't
just
think
want.
those feelings are valid though? You don't think the feelings of like jealousy and insecurity are valid in a sense, like especially if you didn't start out poly. You know what I'm saying? You started out, this is our relationship dynamic, and then somebody, felt differently. You don't think that person should be given that leeway to like, I feel some type of way. They may need time to process it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I think that's the perfect thing. Like your feelings are your feelings. You're perfectly right to have them. That doesn't affect someone else. You don't get to dictate someone else's body over your feelings. And I think
Correct.
just to add to um, Swoman's point is that I'm sorry, Miss Queen's point is that I would also add that like it's not just for women. Like the fact is, my partner has other people that they talk to in the world, and I'm not mad at that. Why am I going to be mad at the fact that my partner is an amazing human being, and anywhere they go in the world, they deserve to be freaking celebrated? And like that doesn't affect. I know what I can do, and I know what I can do, and I don't gotta worry about it. I ain't competing with nobody on nothing because my work is my work. And so like it's a very much like why would I be mad if whenever they're going whatever if they see somebody who appreciates them who they appreciate, why would I be mad at them? Why would I be mad for at someone else seeing what I see? Oh, because they doing boss ain't you can't do it better, you can't do me. You can't be me. It's that simple.
So that ain't the ego talking right there.
No, but like that's not
That
ego. That's facts. Nobody I am not that person. I'm not gonna play their
okay.
game. However they play is they game.
Hmm.
I I dribble the ball my way. You can't do it my way.
But
And
also,
then
I
she
believe
juggled the
also,
balls hers. Uh huh.
listen, I feel like maturity. So poly is not ideal for everybody, which is correct. What Magna Malena said is not ideal for everybody. That is absolutely correct. Because some people cannot think on that level to where they can possibly understand where somebody else is coming from. A lot of people hear. A lot of people listen to react and not to respond. So they don't really hear what you're saying. All they heard was, I want to fuck a woman. They didn't hear that this is a conversation we had prior to our relationship. It's not something, this is something I've been doing from the time I was a little girl. Like, they didn't hear all of that. All they heard was, you're not enough and I want to fuck somebody else. And that's somebody that's not ideal for that lifestyle. Now, somebody you can have sit down and have a conversation of transparency and be vulnerable with them and actually show them the places actually talk about the places where that's delicate to you about your sexuality. being sexually liberated is amazing. And I feel like people make sex so taboo and so like golly, like be liberated a little bit, like do something different, step out your box, like live a little. A lot of people out here just surviving and they ain't enjoying life. Like there's people fucking married 55 years and never had an orgasm. I just think that's just shoot yourself in the head. Like that's crazy.
I
Sorry, I
think
didn't. I would.
no, you're all good.
That was that was
Let's not start suicide, but like I do think that something that people need to know is like you always have the right to change your mind at any point. You could literally get the ring on your finger, just say it, and be like, you know what? I don't want to do this, and no one can say you have to do that. You've already signed the bit. No, like you physically cannot do that. You always have the right to change your mind. And I think making sure and recognizing people's agency, recognizing that like communication is required in so many situations where we just think that we can just push past it or omit things. It's just like, nah, just being open about what's going on will help everybody in this situation.
real. But let me just say it this way, right?
Hmm.
This the structure of my polyamorous relationship would definitely look a lot different than most, or probably not most, but probably the people that have like multiple people on the outside. I would want my poly relationship to actually be structured inside, where it's just me, my husband, and somebody else. I wouldn't need anybody on outside. He would need anybody on outside. Like we are one unit together. That's how I would want my relationship to be structured. Like just because like he's the kind of guy like he wants like the structure. So to respect the structure and still being allowed to be myself, I would just have to take the little that I have that I was able to get and say, okay, honey, we can just have it right here. Okay, I don't mind. Some people will like I've seen some relationships where there's like three or four women and just one man.
Hmm.
Ah, we ain't no time for all of that. Me and her. That's it. I don't think it needs any more than that because we're already we're already this far mature in life where we have kids, and it would just be a lot to explain like why we have three other women living in the house, you know? And I just think that's greedy and that's just too much. We're working
Really?
adults, we're business owners, like it's a lot. You know,
Mm.
I just think it's a lot.
Magda is saying that jealousy is not valid. Why would it not be valid? What would invalidate that feeling?
I think what they mean by that is like someone's jealousy doesn't give you the right to dictate someone else's actions. And I think the
No.
ability to communicate through someone your jealousy is actually like will help you deal with why am I threatened by this person? Well, man, I see
Right,
this in them, and I'm worried that like I'm not really that funny, and so like you be laughing at their jokes, and like I just don't, and you can have these conversations, and they can be like, "Bruh, you aren't that funny," but I don't love you because you're funny. I love you for all these other reasons, and
right.
so like let's not try to be comedian of the year, and let's like connect in the way that we do connect. And so, like, it's very much communicating through what your insecurities are. Communicating through jealousy is how you actually solve these problems. Otherwise, you just sit there and it. How many people are just kicking problems down the road by just not talking about
That's my thing though, because we all say, we all have heard, we all know communication and understanding is key to a good relationship. That goes for any relationship, right? But communication is usually where things break down. You know what I mean? So how do we do that, especially when you incorporate other people with other personalities? And it's difficult to tell somebody that I I I love you. I love what we have, but I also want more. I want more people. I want to experience more things. How do we do that effectively?
it. I think that for me personally, I can speak that like I when I see someone whom I'm attracted to, I'm like it's obvious. It's like it's obvious. It's usually a mutual thing. And so like for me to be able to like have a partner in the world where I can go home and be like, bro, I was just flirting with this girl. She was so fly. Like da 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 da. Can't wait for you to meet her. She's super dope. Like it adds a level of like security of like, wait, what do you think about this person? Because like now I have somebody who I trust who's also looking at this who can speak things that I don't see. And they're not speaking from jealousy because they want what's best for me. They want me to be happy. I'm not speaking when they introduce me to somebody, I ain't looking to try to tear them down like, oh nah, that person got this, that person got that. I'm literally looking like, oh, I see what you see. They're a cool person. That's dope. Like I'm looking for the good things, and if I see something, I'm gonna be like, "Yo, did you see this?" I'm gonna let them in on it. We are on each other's side, and like we're really just trying to not just like build the team, but like build community where we looking out for each other. And even if that was a temporary thing, you know that we communicate through problems. We know how to like speak through our emotions, and if you ever need anything, we're right here for you.
Right. Yes. Yes. Everything he said. Yes.
What's your ideal poly situation, Desi?
Um, I don't know. Like right, so it's funny. Like me and my partner, they're amazing cook, but like both of us are very busy, so we don't have a lot of time to cook. So we'd be sitting there laughing, like, man, we really should get like the next time we like ask somebody to this, we gotta make sure that they love to cook. Like there's somebody who really likes to cook because we'll make sure that they straight as long as we got like good meals coming up because we ordering out too much. So like that's just a joking way of adding to it. But the fact is, for me, like I want to live in a community where things can be fluid, where I have my partner and I have my kids, and like they're the community's kids, and they're like I'm not looking out for just the ones that I know are mine. I'm looking out for the kids in my community. And so, like, my ideal relationship is literally just community protection, like having fluidity, being able to be like, yeah, I love this person and I love that person, and now I actually don't like that person as much anymore. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to protect my kids with them or be around. Like, I'm allowed to continue to exist in my community and take care of my community without the expectations of you had a kid with this person, so now you guys are stuck forever. Enjoy. You now are at the ankle for life. It's like that doesn't seem fun for anybody. The kids, me, and I've been in a situation where people were forcing themselves together, and it just wasn't. It wasn't good.
All right, so I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Since this was Queen Nilda's idea, right? After I pose this question to you guys, I'm gonna let her do the hosting thing and ask us questions. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my God.
So okay, considering that humans, we grow, we mature, we learn, we have all these experiences, and like Desi said, we change our minds, right? Is it even realistic to think that one person could take you through this whole gamut of life and satisfy you completely? Is that even a realistic thing?
For some people,
I'll go first.
but
Okay. So I have asked myself this question quite some time since I've been married, right? Being and I think that's how the conversation is gonna start, where with the female thing. I can have one man for the rest of my life, but he has to be like we have to be on the same sexual page. We have to be because my sexual appetite is big. And just like how um survival and living and enjoying life and being healthy is important, so is my sexual appetite. So we have to be here. Like we have to be locked in as far as communicating what he wants, what he likes, what he doesn't want, what he doesn't like. And we have to be able to match each other's energy because If I'm here, if I'm stuck in this, if I'm not stuck, but if I'm in this box with this person, I want this box to be so harmonious and fun that we don't care about what's going on outside the box. Because we having a ball inside this box. So I don't care what's happening outside. That's my ideal. That's the only way I think I would be able to be with one person for the rest of my life. That was if I was a straight person, right? I'm not. I'm bisexual. I've been this way since I can remember myself. So I would have to have either a pass, a year, or give me a week where I can just freelance and go and have a
Well, you
woman and
say
have
a
fun.
year, annual pass.
Like give me an annual pass or something,
What?
or we come to a agreement and an understanding that we're gonna live this lifestyle where we have a woman and she's our woman. That's your woman, that's my woman. We live all together in a harmonious box. That's just it's either you're gonna let me have fun once a year or maybe twice a year, my birthday and Mother's Day, you know, or we have this person and it would be great because I I'm working. I'm also trying to start a business. He's working. He also has his own business. So it would be great if we have someone that's cooking and there and she's just like she's you know like I just feel like it would just be a great box, and that would be for the rest of my life. I wouldn't need anything else. Give me crackers and water and I good.
That's it. What do you think? Is it? You said is it realistic?
Um, I think for some people, I think that you gotta recognize that people's like libido changes over their lifetime. Like even for me, like depression, life happening has caused ups and downs. My partners, ups and downs, and so like the idea that like there's times when my libido is ridiculous, and so therefore like that's not fair to put off on one person. Literally, like they're trying to get shit done, and so like, and there's times when I'm not really feeling like three, 2 or 3 times a day. So maybe you should go talk to somebody because I'm not in that mood right now. And so like, it's very much yeah. We some people they are able to not only communicate through their emotions but also like find relief in for what they want with one person. That's just not me. And I don't think that's a lot of other people too. I think a lot of people just kind of force themselves to do something. And that's not to say that monogamy is not a real thing. I'm just saying that y'all be cheating a lot for like it's something that's supposed to be like
Okay.
sacred.
All right, Queen Nilla, take it away. You're the new host. Go.
God, what the fuck, God? You didn't even prep me for this. I should have a list of questions. Anyway, okay, so it's Freaky Friday. So yes, we talked all the technical stuff. So let's get down to the Freaky Friday. Um, do you like to watch two women have sex?
Absolutely, it's a beautiful thing. Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so then Ja coming home and you had a hard day's work and you walk in, you could smell the food already cooked, and you walk into the living room and two women, your women that belong to you, they're yours. We're gonna do that.
I thought we
These
said
are your
nobody belonging to the.
wait,
I thought
hold
we
on.
said we
I'm
do the
we're,
ownership thing.
we're okay,
All right,
well
go
okay,
ahead.
well
Sorry.
not ownership. Not ownership, but they're dedicated to you. They want only you. Then you walk into the house, you had a rough day, and you walk into the living room and they are going at it with each other. What is your reaction?
I would quietly pull up a chair and watch until I can't watch no more, and hopefully I'd be able to interact. But I would love to watch something like that. That's a fantasy of mine. Just like to sit there, I got a drink, I got blunt, and I just watching and they doing their thing, and I also like when one is more in charge than you know what I'm saying, telling the anyway.
Are your legs crossed when you're on the chair?
No, my mm.
Are you crossed at the ankle?
It's not crossed at all. I'm probably handling myself while they go at it.
So where the drink is in one hand and you're on the other hand, you're
Yeah, I probably
handing
get
it.
like an ashtray or something so I could put it on your check. Yeah.
So you have a cigar in your mouth, cup in
Hmm.
your hand,
Hmm.
the other hand. So
Hmm.
you just talented in all sides.
Yeah,
It's
well,
all
you got drink, you put it down. You don't just hold. You know what I'm saying? It goes down
okay. All right. So wouldn't you like to see that all the time though?
all the time. I don't want anything all the time. Like I could be very fickle. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess it would depend on. I don't know. That's it. Maybe you tell me. Like sometimes I don't want to be bothered. I might just walk past. I don't know if you see it too much, it becomes like hey babes, I'm gonna go upstairs. I don't know if I will get tired after a while. It becomes mundane. So I all the time. I don't know.
Hmm.
So like situations like that exist in the world. I'm just like laughing because for every one of those situations, there's like 10 of you walking in and you are getting in trouble from two people for something that you did. And it's just like, fuck, 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 fuck. Like, I'm getting double fucked. Y'all ain't fucking each other. You fucking me now. God damn it. Like, and so it's a very, yeah, like, it's amazing to be able to be in, like, group sex experiences and all these type of things. But, like, it talks a lot of work, a lot of emotional labor, a lot of talking through your issues, a lot of not getting defensive and flip it off. It takes, like, shit, they just roasted me right now. I gotta listen. Like, so like,
You see, I think that's why a lot of men, when they hear poly, they say that they want to do it right, but they're thinking sex. But me, because I'm such a overthinker, I guess I think about the
Hmm.
other stuff. Like, what happens when their cycles sync up? What happened when I forget to take out the trash? Now I get two of them going at me. What happened when they agree and I disagree? I'm already outnumbered. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm seeing. Like, that's double the driving because you don't like to drive when you got man. That you know what I'm saying? Like that's double the I don't know where I want to eat. Go ahead. What you saying?
So to that point where you just say where what if they agree and I disagree, or that whole rant just now, right? So in my mind, right, there's a place where a woman stands and there's a place where a man stands in this world, right? And I'm a firm believer that if you enter into a long lasting relationship, that you understand the place that you're in. Um, before prior to marriage, I was very masculine. I have um, a very aggressive personality. Now that I am married, the roles have definitely switched. I am now 80% submissive. I'm still working on the rest. I actually am one of the females that shut up. I shut up. So, and I say that to say, if the roles are respected and they're respected on all sides, you'll never walk into a situation where you're being bombarded by two women because they're going to understand the place. So
I
the
feel
level
like
of
that's a big
respect,
if demand.
no, but that's mature conversation, right? That's like you, because if you want that level of respect in your home, you're not gonna take a woman into your house that don't care what you say and don't listen to you and talk back to you and tell you, boy, fuck you. That's not the kind of one you're gonna enter into a poly relationship with, because you're gonna walk into problems all the time.
I think there's. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I
You
think
go
there's like
ahead.
levels to that. Like, I think that getting bombarded, from what I was meaning, is simply being held accountable for something that I
Hmm.
didn't want to be held accountable on. That don't mean I'm getting cussed out. That don't mean anybody's disrespecting me. That don't mean anybody's putting their hands on me or getting their hands in my face or being loud or anything. It just means I did forget to take out the trash, and now I gotta hear it from two people. Fuck. And so like, and I can't be like, be quiet. Like, no, like I messed up. I gotta be like, yeah, my bad. Was running out the house. Should have done it. And so it's like it's a level of accountability. And so like I'm not going to, and I'll put any judgment on your relationship. I just disagree. I think that men and women are equal in the sense that, like, my mother was stronger than my father, and my strong father is a strong man, big like me. But my mom was strong. My aunt was a strong woman too. My grandmother lived until 99, worked until she was 83. Like, I come from a matriarchal society, and so like the idea that I'm gonna be like the men say have the last word. Mm-mm. I'm seeing a lot of stupidness going on this island with the men's having the last word. I think we honestly should be listening to the women in our community and not be trying to be like, oh no, no, I know, Bas, you don't know, otherwise we wouldn't be in this situation.
All right.
I'm more of a I more believe in balance in everything, right? Like I don't need you to be 100% submissive. Sometimes I do like to hear, "Boy, fuck you," cause I got shit gonna turn me on. But that I guess maybe that's a little bit on my toxic side. So I don't need you to be 100% submissive. I just don't need you to be like hard headed and stubborn just for the sake of it. You get what I'm saying? Like you could make your point, I could make my point. If we just need to come to an understanding though. And we have to recognize we can't always be butting heads on everything because first of all it's a waste of time. And there are people that will argue with you just to argue. I know he right, I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like there are women like that. That is a different story.
I think those are times when honestly, poly relationships can be helpful because now you have more people. And it's not to gang up on anybody and be like, oh, this no, it's like you see what they're saying? Do you see what they're saying? Okay, you guys are trying to fight about something, but you're saying the same thing. I'm seeing it from the outside, and I'm seeing that you're saying this and you're saying this. Can you guys understand? Having more perspective, having someone that can act as a mediator is helpful. Someone who understands, cares about everybody in the situation, and can be like, no, you did fuck up. That was kind of rude. You didn't need to say that. Like, it's helpful.
Yeah, I could see that being good. I don't know. Maybe I'm just negative because I'm just hearing the other one while me and the one talking and I hearing, mm, yeah, he do be acting like that. You know what I'm
If
saying?
you're
Like,
wrong, you're wrong. And if you're getting two people telling you you're wrong, you get
uh,
it's confirmation. Like you
uh,
like, two people that love
Well,
and care
let
about
me.
you are telling you we love you, but that
you're
right
fucking
there.
up.
You are from night. I'm telling you, you're already fucking up, John. But listen. So my that boy fuck you to still come out. I don't think that's ever gonna go away. I
It's
mean, it don't come
essential.
out. It's part of it's part of me. It's my part of my pillars. So right in house therapy. So so let me understand this, Desi. I say it right, right?
That's it. But close enough.
Desi. So I had seen like I don't know if I see this Facebook video with the lady that she have a graph of how her poly life is, and she had this partners and she have this group of people and that group of people, and I was like, God, that's a lot.
I see
Like
it.
yo, going through a whole, and I was like, is that really poly though, or like, because okay, so I only understand not say only, but I haven't ventured into the other part of the pilot that you're talking about, where you have a partner and then you have other people outside, and then they can have people. Like that part didn't interest me, so I never really look into it. But now that you're talking about it, I can definitely understand how that's also poly as well. So basically, poly is just like free relationship to do what you want with whom you want, but just have open communication with the people that matter. Basically, it's trust and
With not just the
communication.
people that matter, I think everybody involved. Because if like I have to value myself enough that if I'm sharing my body with somebody, I'm being honest.
Right.
I'm not gonna be like, haha, I actually do have a girlfriend. you can't talk to me anymore. Like, no, like that's messed up.
Hi.
Like, you literally are moving with, and there's going to be plenty of people in the world that I'm super attracted to, or even attracted to me. That me being poly, uh, ah, and that sucks. But like, that's good to know because they're letting me know they're like, I'm probably gonna get jealous, probably gonna get angry. But they're like, someone being upfront about like, yeah, that's not cool with me. Thank you, because I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to break your heart. So like, this is the best way for us to just stay friends in that way. Because now, like, that's the best thing to me is like I can respect the relationships. I have plenty of female friends in the world that some of them are in relationships, some of them are not in relationships, but I never have to worry about like that status changing affecting my relationship or affecting their relationship. If they're in a monogamous relationship, I'm still talking to them as their friend. If they're not in a monogamous relationship, I'm talking to them as their friend, and we may fuck one day. But that's about it. It's that it's allows for a lot more transparency, allows for a lot more ease.
So, on a scale from 1 to 10, guys, how important is sex to you?
For 12. My libido is sky high, and I'm getting older, and it should be going down, but it's going the opposite way. So it's important to me.
I'd
How
say
about
It's
you,
that's
it's
Liz?
pretty important.
it's very fucking important. I wake up rock hard every morning.
Very fucking important. A man doesn't get to his peak until he's in his 40s. The peak is for when women is in their 30s, but the peak for men is in their 40s, is what I understand. So you probably in your 40s wondering why you're cocking high. Like I am. God, my cock ain't been as high since I was like 20. But it's really because you're in your peak and you're in your 40s. In your 40s, you're definitely at your peak, and that's when your sex drive goes up. You want to try something new. That's what this honey pack,
Yeah,
especially if I fall at this honey pack shit because I ain't never seen it before.
I don't trust
Now,
anything.
I don't know. I want to try it one day. I want to see if what to do. Like, what's in it? Like, is it just honey?
I know it's more than honey. It's some sort of stimulant. If but it sell that shit out at gas station, I don't want it. I'm alright.
Listen, I bought some Spanish fly one time out of a free market, and I may have done some unconstitutional things that somebody did against their will. But anyway, that's not a conversation. But that Spanish fly worked. I just want to say it's a thing. It worked. At least
I was
anybody out
wondering
there.
about that. I was wondering if it actually worked.
Yeah, Spanish fly and some Jamaican white rum, and he busted wide open like a little hoe. Anyway, that anyway.
Next
So with
question.
uh, listen, I just think like I just to me, I just think like having multiple people in a room having sex at the same time, I just think that's like amazing. I love it. I think that's just like, you know, the best kind of music to have. I don't know.
I have had that before, and that image is still stuck in my hand. That shit was like a decade ago, and that image is still in my head. So I feel you.
It's like euphoric. Like everybody in the room on the same energy level. Like everybody just, having this great experience, and you touching me, I'm touching you, and he touching me, she touching you. Is like, oh God, this is great. I don't know. I just like it.
So I think we need to figure out how to take that energy, right, and put it into find out how to translate that to people that we actually have feelings for and still be cool. You get what I say? Like, not get upset watching somebody that you care about enjoy other people.
Well, I think that that's not for everybody. Like, not everybody wants to see that. But the fact is, like, it's like you can ask your partner about their former partners and all the details, but do you really want to know? Do you really want to know? So like you can be that person who really wants to know and like I'm a pretty curious person, but there's also things where I'm just like, that's on you. You can tell me if you want to, but that's your business. And so, like, do I want to see certain things? No. Am I enjoying being in a group activities with this? Yes. So, like, there are things that I would enjoy. There's things that, oh, you want that? I don't want to see that. So just do that with them, and we'll talk later. Like, go see, we'll see you when you get home. Take a shower, please. Like,
The most important rule of the night. Just take a shower, please, before you come back here.
It sounds
Don't be
like to
like,
me like communication is communication, communication, communication in every part of it. That's what keep
yeah.
coming up.
I feel like that's a major key in every lasting relationship, especially if you're gonna have multiple partners. I feel like communication has to be the ground. It has to be the ground the relationship stands on. It has to be, or else you're gonna create room for jealousy. You're gonna create room for miscommunications and misunderstandings, and that's where the comparison comes in. Oh, you fucking have more than me, or so why do you like have more than me? Like that's where all that comes in because then the communication or is not there, so it leaves room for a lot of things. And assumption and jealousy is like the crippler of all relationships. Assuming that this is going on, or instead of you asking me a question, assuming that I want this or I want that more, like that's a crippler, and it's not gonna work. We have to have communication. It has to happen.
and also people being able to be clear about what they want. Because if, like, I think, for example, like, if you're out with you and your partner and somebody is flirting with you, and you're like, why is it that I'm with my partner right now, but this person is intriguing me? That's a conversation for you and your partner to be like, what is about this person that intrigues me? I find you amazing, but, like, this person was like catching my attention, and I don't. Instead of them getting angry at you and being like, "What's going on?" Da 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 da. You can be like, they can be like, "Hey, I was noticing how you and that person kept making eyes. Like, what was that, bro? Like, what's going on?" You can have actual conversations instead of it progressing to jealousy, progressing to some weird little, oh, you always making eyes with that person. It's like, nah, bro, I don't know. We just have like a connection thing. I think that they're cool in this way. I don't know. It's like I probably like to talk to them more and try to figure out what it is. It allows for these things to not build into tension.
But let's just be honest, right? In today's society, like there are so many people in poly relationships and don't even know they're in poly relationships. Like people that's like there are so many married men that are so unhappy in their marriages because they marry women that don't like them. So they have multiple lives. Like you're in a poly relationship, but don't even realize that's what you're doing. But it's better if everybody knew about each other and had like an understanding and maybe a conversation. But men are so like where I think this that narrative of men having to hide instead of having a conversation and saying, listen, there's something missing in our relationship. That comes from the temperature of women. Like, do we allow that door? Do we even like give that space for my man to say, you know, there's something missing in our relationship. I don't feel it. It's if either we could come to some kind of happy medium, or I am going to go find it elsewhere. There's so many men that are stuck in relationships that they're not happy in with women that don't even like or don't even like them, but because they have to live up to this society picture and they took vows and they have to stick with them. It's like, so nobody wants to have the conversation. Like we're just going to stay and live in this house unhappy and pretend we're happy while you have another life and I'm sitting here losing weight and sick because you don't want to be with me and I wonder if you with somebody else. Instead of having that conversation, but we also have to ask ourselves, do we even allow that space for men to say, I'm not happy with you? Because the first thing we're gonna say is, "Oh, I'm not enough. Oh, so you want somebody else? You fucking somebody else already? Eh? You couldn't even wait." Instead of having like sitting down and actually listening to his feelings, listening to him talk, like hearing him and trying to figure out like what can I do different? How do we change this together? Like how do we fix this? And then if the conversation comes up and say, maybe we need to fuck somebody else. How about if that's what he wants? How about your sex is whack? Or how about your pussy just a little bit too big and he don't like how it fits? Let it open, real, honest conversations would save so much time and so much energy and would eliminate these half party relationships that people are in. Like people are really in these relationships living double lives and they don't even know.
I would simply add that like it's not simply men, it's women too.
Right.
And I would add the caveat though that like it's dangerous. Like telling a man that he is being insufficient in any way in our society triggers them. And we feel that we have the right to show that I's a man and I gonna tell you, I gonna get loud, you gonna listen to me, you gonna do what I say, and it's just like boss, like you don't own anybody else. And the fact is, someone can always have the right to say, I love you, but this is not working. And if you want to continue to be around me, you need to respect the fact that I'm going to do what I need to do. And I'm being respectful to you and letting you know. If your response is going to be this volatile, then you're not going to know things. You're losing access to me. You're going to simply be wondering what's going on all the time. And that's your own fault.
You're gonna take that boss stress. Sorry, go ahead, John.
No, I'm listening to you guys, and my mind keeps running to situations where it's like I understand that we all should be honest. I also recognize that certain people say they want the truth, but then when they get the truth, here comes those excuses like it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. You try to say it a different way, it's a different issue with the way I said it then. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of things. And I keep wondering, the question keeps coming up, how do we unlearn these things? How do we let go of that ego that keeps us from either being honest or being able to receive honesty?
So I think ego has a lot to do with well, if we're gonna go back to the mental part of ego, right? I think ego stems from mental trauma as a child. You have to protect yourself from something, so that ego steps in and is your protector. Um, Whether it be you had a some men, I'm gonna say men. Some men have a bigger ego than others because um how their mother raised them, because your mother plays a big part in how a man sees himself. So if let's say for instance a man grew up and his mother was very promiscuous and had a bunch of men in and out the house, right? Um, he's probably gonna grow up with a very controlling personality because he wants to make sure the woman in his life doesn't do that, isn't that kind of person. And he's probably going to go from relationship and eventually going to go more aggression, and eventually starts to be abusive because if he can't control you verbally and he can't control you physically, he's probably going to try to control you the other physical way, which would be putting his hands on you. So I think ego stems a lot from childhood trauma, from what you had to protect yourself from. So I think that's a big part of ego in my opinion.
That's it. Did you have something to say?
Yeah, I would just add that like yeah, ego is a big part of it. I think that the only way that we get through ego is through it. Like you can feed it by simply ignoring it and not talking about it and not addressing it. But like I think about like things within my own family that were not talked about and not addressed, and it's coming out years later with the dementia. And everybody's like, why are they acting like this? It's like because you told them for years to put up with something that they should not have put up with. And so like ego, a lot of it is like if we don't deal with these problems now, we gonna push it off to another thing. So if I don't check my ego on this, it's gonna come out on another thing, and that could be even more dangerous. So let's like in this household, in our community, be able to deal with my problems, deal with your problems, so that we can be able to move in the world stronger, move in the world with less things that can hurt us.
Do
Right.
you think it's possible we could just start like our own community within the community of St. Croix where it's just free love and blunts and cooling?
I always thought St. Croix was so loving. I love St. Croix. Like everybody in St. Croix is always so happy. And I mean, for what my experiences, I ain't never had no bad experiences in St. Croix.
St.
Everybody's always
Croix,
been good.
there's a lot of love, but unfortunately, they love people, man. That's that's the problem.
Well, shit. Oh, hey, cuz. Love people, man, huh? So that's a big problem in St. Croix. OPP.
Yes, yes,
That's
yes.
the thing is why I think someone once told me that like if the youth and like the women on this island were as sexually liberated as the old men, all of our problems would be solved. Or no, a lot of our problems would be solved. These old men be having how many kids, how many families and this, and then they gonna tell their daughter, what are you doing like this? How you acting like a hoe? You is a hoe,
You
boss.
think that's
You are a hoe telling your daughter not to be a
you
hoe.
are.
You started to hold them.
Like, where do you think this shit is genetic? You think that like this comes out of nowhere, bro? Like,
But real talk. Like the men back in the days had a wife, and their wife knew about Miss Sally down the street, and Miss Sally knew about Miss Monroe down the road. Like it wasn't a secret. It only became a secret now, and I don't understand. Like, why are you hiding?
Because
You're gonna
social
get
media will
caught.
put you out there.
you know what my great grandfather's name was on the Trinidad? Rabbit. The man called him Rabbit because he was sleeping with some man's wife, and the man come home and he gone under the floorboards and shoot out underneath the house. So everyone see shoot out underneath the house like a rabbit, and it's just like, yo, we've always been hoes. This is generational. So why are we lying? Why are we making hurting people's feelings? Why don't we just be honest?
It's in
Well,
men. It's in a.
he was
Sorry.
Trinidadian, so that's one thing.
Okay,
I
okay.
I think it's in a man's nature to want to be with to like multiple women. I just feel like it's torturous to tell a man like you with me and you can't look at nobody else. Like I just feel like you creating a false narrative for yourself, and you're gonna eventually get hurt. Like there are some men that will only sleep with you and you alone. Yes. But will their mind wander? Will they look at another person walking by that has the features that they like? Yes, because it's natural. It's something they're gonna do. It's in their genetics. It's part of I don't know, it's part of life because I could be with one person and if I see a woman that has the features that I like, I ain't gonna look. So if you don't look, I'm gonna be like, you ain't see that?
But you realize you're in the minority, right? Because that's a part of the reason why a lot of men lie because we have those issues, I guess. So we want to look, we want, what I'm saying? But we know that there are women that literally get upset if you like a picture online.
But like we often act as if these women are coming out of left field when it's like this dude has lied to her, cheated on her probably, said some bullshit to her face that she knew was untrue, and then yeah, liking her friend's picture was a violation, and he knew it was a violation. And so we put in it in this context of like she just flipping out over this. It's like, boss, you don't know you pushy, so
Man, I
this.
can't like
It's
her
like,
friend picture. And they have a like
boss, but
button
there's
right
always
under
more
it.
context. And what he's saying is the context is what it is. Is like what VI women have been put you on this island.
Mm,
Yeah, if they have said that I don't want you doing that, that does make me comfortable. Because man does like to make a lot of requests of a woman and demands of a woman.
true,
I want you doing this, I want you. So she say, yo, I don't
true,
want you
true.
liking my friend's pictures. That fucking embarrasses me. Don't fucking do it. And if you do it, you get to catch her for it because she set a boundary and you cross it.
Correct.
I do notice that about Caribbean men. They try to lock down these women for real and be out there loose doing dumb shit. And I don't get that. They do be, I don't know. They be strict. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll get with a woman and she out in the street living her life, dressing how she want to dress, will get with her and then say, no, you can't wear them thing out. You can't do this when you with me. You can't. You met her like that
Correct.
though.
And
You know,
that
that's
right
like
there
you
is
meet me in
like,
the strip club until I can't go back. You met me there, dude.
and
How you
it's
gonna
just,
meet me clapping some
it's a
shit to
lack
the
of
strip club until I
trust. Like,
can't never go back?
yeah, man, don't trust the people they're with. In which case, you should not be with these people. If
Mm.
you
Correct.
don't think that this person can go out and just enjoy their time, and if they told you that, "No, I'm coming home tonight," that they're coming home tonight to you, then you don't need to be with that person. You don't get to
Mm.
control how they dress, how what makes them feel good, what makes them feel pretty. Like, bro, if you've been out working super busy, if they need to go out and get a compliment, that's good for them. And you to be like mad or want to check somebody for complimenting somebody something that you appreciate, stupid. This is stupidness.
So that's it. How we gonna screen the people we gonna let into our commune? How do we screen them?
I don't know about like screening people. It's really like, I know, for example, like with my partner right now, um, they're talking to somebody, and I just would like randomly, I'm on Instagram, and some random dude tries to freaking friend me, and I'm like, who the fuck is this? And they're like, oh no, that's somebody I was talking to, and I was like, I don't know this person, but that's a good sign. Because like this person isn't afraid to be like, oh, you're in a partnership. Who is it? Like I want them to see who I am, and da 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 da. So I'm like, okay. So like I don't know. It's yeah. Kind of lost my train of thought on that one.
Screening of the community because I want to hear the screening process as well.
Yeah, how do
The
we
screening process.
screen
So like
them?
the screening, it really is like it's a process of like me, me and my partner. What do you think about this person? What do you think about that? And like it's really, I think, in building community, it's I have, like for example, I have friends that I've had friends that I've had relations with that I'm probably never gonna have relations with before, with again. But we are in community together, and so therefore, like the idea of, regardless of, we're not screening for sexual compatibility, we're screening for, are we? Do you want to look out for our community? Do you want to look out for our kids? Can you be held accountable? Are you willing to hold others accountable? Like these are the things that we're not going to have a screening process as much of like that's the people who I'm connecting with.
Have you guys ever like literally you and your partner like I don't want to say interview, it seems too strong of a word, but have you ever you and your partner actually gone out and talked to somebody that the other person is interested in to kind of screen them that way?
Um, I have not like that. I've introduced partners to each other and been like, "Hey, I'm gonna fuck off so I don't become the point in this." Like, and then he does this, and then I'm not. Now y'all enjoy that conversation without me, but yeah, I think that we've enjoyed many group activities, but like I think we're not like screening people, or if I'm talking to somebody, then yeah, I'll introduce them not with the intention of like, yo, grill this person, but like, I think they're cool. What do you think? And I genuinely want to know what they think, but it's not to be like, get the 411 on them, the shit that they haven't told me. Like, it's not
Right.
like,
So, Ja, you pulling up the 40 questions. You pulling up the questionnaire.
You don't know me, man. I like structure. Like sit up. All right.
That's been what
So
a whole post.
what is your
yeah,
credit report? Like,
yeah. How many people you been with in the last year? What about the
nah,
last
that
It
right
24
there
don't
is
hours?
matter.
weird.
No, man, no. I
Don't
don't care about
matter.
body count. I'm joking, but I do want to know when last you got tested.
Fair.
Oh well, yeah, that's important.
That
That's
seems
granted.
fair.
Yes, you should come with that in your hand to the interview. Like that's
Exactly.
like your
Like,
resume. Like you should
especially
walk
for
with that
adult
in your
shit.
hand.
But that's another thing. I think an important piece we need to talk about. It is hard to be poly in the Virgin Islands with our shitty fucking STD testing. Bro, this shit takes weeks. Fucking weeks. And I'm sitting here like,
So you
are
can't
you
wait. You can't wait. You can't wait 2 weeks for your
I
taste this white.
can, but
You
if
can't wait.
something is planned out and you meet somebody, now you gotta fucking
You
be like,
just
okay,
man.
I just met that person 2 weeks ago, so now I gotta make another test and get another test. I'm waiting on tests, and I'm just like, this is some bullshit.
It's been a
Like
month.
this shit could come back in like 24 hours, but now I gotta wait 2 weeks because I'm in the
It's
fucking
true.
Virgin Islands again. This is
I
bullshit.
did not know that though. That is a long time to wait
2 weeks.
for a
2 weeks should
test.
be 2 weeks should just be you caught in, go to dinner, go to movies, go to the beach, get to know them, and then when the test results come back,
I
time to
ain't
smash.
rushing nothing, but sometimes there's time things like, oh, they on a cruise ship, they can't off, da da da. Fuck. I'll see you next time you get off the cruise, because
Yeah,
I
they
ain't getting
coming to
tested
visit.
today. Like,
I did not know it took 2 weeks though. That is a long
Damn.
time
they gotta
for a
send the
CD
test to
test.
Florida. We don't have nowhere to test things down here
Don't they have at home tests nowadays? Oh,
for
that's not a
certain
thing
things,
yet.
but
That's
like
STIs.
that's for certain
Oh,
things, but like you want the gambit. If you're having
yeah,
like
yeah,
sex with people, you want to make sure you ain't got HIV, you ain't got gonorrhea,
yeah,
you ain't
yeah.
got the whole gambit because safe sex is the whole point. We ain't
Right.
trying to be like the vector of of problems in the world.
You don't be licking nobody cunny and then suck out cottage cheese because you're mad because you didn't, that's kind of crazy.
Well, you can see that. You can actually see that though.
And I have the gate push up. I've seen some crazy shit. Don't mind me. I've just seen crazy shit.
Yeah, you'll be on the dark web. Um, so what would you guys say to people who push back with that? Like, oh, I can't be poly because STDs and stuff. What would you say to them?
Go get tested. Go get tested. Get tested.
And wait the 2 weeks ras. Hmm.
Yes, in 2 weeks we're gonna go to the beach. We're gonna go to the movies. We're gonna cook dinner. We're gonna kiss each other. We're gonna hold each other's hand. We're gonna go for long walks. We're gonna walk the dog. We're gonna go hiking. We could do all kind of things in 2 weeks. There's 14 days. We could do a lot of things in 2 weeks.
Remember, HPV passes through kissing. Like that's the one that most people
See?
have. Like you can get it from your grandmother, but like
Mm.
yeah, that's the herpes that most people have in the world. Um,
Yes.
but like yeah, that's just like being conscious that like safe sex is very hard, but the fact is it is worth it to know that you're protecting the people that you're having sex with. And I think
That's
that
a
like
white people thing.
What the hell
yeah,
is
And
mono? What the
mono,
hell?
that's a kissing
What is
disease.
mono?
That's a white people STD, STI or whatever.
So wait,
you should
STDs have
check the
genders
numbers
now?
down here
I
because
mean, have races now?
it don't
I'm,
it,
I'm,
it
it
it has
is.
jumped. It has jumped. I am proof that people from different races have sex, so therefore they can kiss each other.
I'm gonna be honest though. I've never heard of a black person with mono. I've never heard of that.
Me either, if I actually think about it.
You see,
What
But
is it?
it.
I don't know actually.
I
I can't actually think about what mono
see.
is. I know it's a thing. It's like a
I
high school
remember
thing.
Let me Google it.
I was in boot camp. That was when I was introduced to it. A guy that a sailor that I knew of got mono, and it was because he was kissing this girl. Because they kiss, they just be kissing. They just will meet you in the club. So I think his mouth locked up and like it swole up. It was bad.
Hey, what? Oh
I,
my God, I'm Googling it
I
right
was
now.
about to Google mono when we get
I'm
off this
doing it
call. 'Cause,
right
like
now. I
I'm like
am,
I don't
I
even know
am,
what mono is. It's like a kissing disease that kids get in high school. But I like you said, I've never heard of an African getting mono actually. Like
oh my God.
Hey, Candace, I'm not. I know I'm being a little, reckless with it, but I'm just saying it seemed like a white people thing. I believe that you work in the hospitals and you know what you're talking about. I just have never heard of a black person with it.
Now you
I,
guys just unlocked a new fair because what the fuck is this?
you're like actually that 2 weeks no kissing either. like, like
But then again, I was about to say, I was just about to say this. I was just about to say that. I was just about to say, well, then again, man, who is this? Royal
I'm just,
Louis? Yeah.
yeah, I'm just saying, white people be kissing, man. That's all I'm saying.
But they also kiss animals. So
No, this is French kiss, ain't African kiss, ain't Aborigine kiss. They be kissing.
The French just steal everything. Like they didn't come up with that.
They came up with mono though,
Maybe.
but
Well, we can give them mono, plague and mono. That's them. Colonization, plague, mono, all European inventions. There you go.
Miss Host, come on, take us out.
oh my God, look at the time. Where did it go?
You got
Okay.
us up late.
So,
You know it's 1:30 in the same place.
oh man. Get your bedtime, huh?
Definitely.
But um I was reading the comments. Tonight tonight was very information was very in had a lot of information. I enjoyed it. So thanks to our guest tonight. What I'm gonna leave you with tonight is as usual, have fun, enjoy it. Sex is meant to be enjoyed. Find somebody that you can actually, you know, fuck really good with. I'm saying fuck tonight. Um, and sexual liberation is should be a thing. Like people should find a way to be sexually liberated. Get out of this taboo shit of trying to live in this box that society has made you feel like missionary is the only position that you should be in, and you shouldn't be sucking anybody's balls. Lick balls and have fun while you're doing it. Liberate yourself sexually, have a good time, have an orgasm, mess up your hair, like enjoy life and stop just walking around with dry vaginas. Have a good night.
That's it. What's your final word, sir?
um, Communication is key. You can always change your mind, and I think a lot of men here have to think about if they would be willing to be put through what they're putting their women through. And so, like, yeah, if you lying and you okay with she going out and doing all things, then give she the right to do that too. Otherwise, don't do it. And so, yeah, I think just that's my main thing is there's a other side to everything, and I think poly is a way for people to at least communicate their needs and their wants.
Hey, after those great words, I really don't have much. Tonight's broadcast has been brought to you by Mono and White People Kissing. Thank you for coming through.
My God.
That's Queen Nilda. That's Desi. I'm Ja. The same difference. We love you. We out.
Good night, good.